Okay, so some news happened uh in the last couple days. Well, maybe not last days, maybe like a couple weeks. And there have been some talks about the Olympics taking on video games, which is really crazy to think about. This is a clip from like a video game journalist dude, Rod Breslow, and he went on to talk, I guess, with like NBC. So I just wanted to see what he has to say in here.
Something fun, we might have a new type of Olympics. Here's a clue. Gamers, start your controllers. Get ready for the quest for gold in video gaming.
So right off the bat, uh, this is like just a seemingly a regular dude. So you can see all the gray in his hair and whatnot, but video games are played on more things than just controllers. When you say, what do you say, gamers start your controllers, that immediately puts off the entire mouse and keyboard community. And I would say the M&K community is a little bit older. When this guy says video gamer, he probably thinks of his kids playing video games with their like controllers and playing Fortnite and was it like Fall Guys or whatever. Or maybe they're on their little iPads and they're like doodling around trying to play Fruit Ninja or some shit like that. That's probably what he thinks video games are. I don't think this person could actually fathom like adults. Well, seemingly anybody older than say 21 playing video games. That's what I think. So, yeah, he probably had to, whoever wrote this like little piece probably had to come up with some little catchy slogan or something to like jazz up the little intro to this little interview. I don't know if this is going to be like an entire interview. I mean, the clip is only like what, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, news. This is a news flash. More people play games on things that don't require a controller. So that's enough yapping for me.
Our business and tech reporter Scott Budman spoke to some gamers about it. It's part of the Scott, is it part of the IOC like the Paris Olympics, or is this something totally different?
This is the IOC, Raj, and the gamers I spoke to are almost all in. They have mixed feelings. First of all, it is the International Olympic Committee. They say it wants video games or esports under the Olympic banner, but not.
So, understandably, if you look at it like this, if you're the Olympics, you are constantly trying to grow your brand. Yes, it's the Olympics. I don't know exactly when the Olympics started, but at the end of the day, the Olympics is still a business. And what do you do when you're a business? You're trying to reach complete global, brand saturation, recognition with, the five rings. It's the Olympics. It's a very prestigious thing. Happens every 4 years. You got the Olympics, Winter Olympics, so on and so forth. And then there's the Olympic Committee that have to vote on the literal laundry list of every single solitary sport and category within each sport to figure out, is this good enough? Is this sport good enough to be considered an Olympic sport? So take that for what it is. Consider how popular video games are, around the world. And then consider certain sports that you would see at the Olympics and consider how popular they are around the world. So let's just see.
Not necessarily to be played alongside gymnastics and ice hockey.
No one is. What do you mean? Like, no one is trying to compare like video games. What do you mean? Like, not to be played along gymnastics or ice hockey or whatever. In my mind, and I'm very simple, if the game or sport is being played at the Olympics, it's an Olympic sport. Now, when this gets like, let's say the Olympics comes and goes, do you think they're gonna have like gymnastics section for like 2-3 hours and then immediately cut to like video games, I really doubt that that's going to happen. There's probably going to be like a little bit of more tact on like when they're going to show certain things, because there's a lot of sports that don't get shown on TV. The TV Olympic sports are just like the most popular ones. However, like I think to my knowledge, every sport at the Olympics is recorded, but whether or not it gets shown on TV is a whole different thing. So I don't know what this dude means. Like, why would you have video games at the Olympics if you are not going to show them on TV? The Olympics trying to get video games into the Olympics it's like a brand move. You know, they're trying to pull on like a different audience. So why not put it on TV?
Secondly, it could happen as soon as next year.
Video gaming is already gigantic.
Go.
Esports tournaments can draw tens of thousands of fans and huge prize money.
I mean, yeah, last time I checked, video games is a billion-dollar business, a multi-billion-dollar business. Same thing with soccer, same thing with football, same thing with baseball, basketball, so on and so forth.
But should those esports matches be Olympic events? The International Olympic...
That's a good question. Should certain video games be considered Olympic level? I don't know, because there are not the list of video games that have been around for a quote unquote long time is very small. That list is very small. There is a little, let me see if I can find it. So like, I'm just going to like pause the video. Can the Olympics realistically use shooters like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Fortnite, or Valorant? Would love to see headshot percentage debated on air, but probably not going to happen. However, I don't see why we can't have a lineup of League of Legends or Dota, Rocket League, Street Fighter / Tekken, FIFA, NBA, iRacing, F1. So the few games that have been around for a long time, well, probably the only game that's been around for a long, well, I say only, but like the games that have had like, that have been around for a long time in my head, and I could be wrong, are Counter-Strike is probably the longest. And then you have Unreal Tournament and Quake. I would probably, those are like, you know, there's like an asterisk next to those. Because back in the day, what did you have? You had who was the popular dude that got like the first like popular video game bro? Well, it was Fatality. If you've seen anything like older, like on the older esports side, Unreal Tournament, I think that's what he got popular off of, and it plays very similar to Quake. So, you know, I'd probably say that those things were popular back then, but their relevance nowadays is not as penetrating as the rest of the games that have been listed here. As far as like world recognition, what do we have? We have COD and Fortnite. COD is very, you know, everybody knows about fucking COD. COD's a damn household name. I think it would be fine to have, you know, me personally, I would love to see any of these games in here. COD, yeah, put it in the Olympics. Fortnite has enjoyed a like 5, 6, 7, like 8 years or however long Fortnite's been around, like the BR. It has enjoyed a large amount of time in the spotlight being the BR. What else? Valorant. You know, Valorant hasn't been around as long as CS, and it's a different style. It's a different game stylistically, and I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but to have Valorant there. But I think it would be an easier sell to have Counter-Strike there, simply because it's easier to watch Counter-Strike. With Valorant, you got like abilities and shit. Like, yes, Counter-Strike, you have like grenades and smokes. Molotovs and flashes and so on and so forth. But Valorant is a little more ability driven, I would say. Like, yes, there's still smokes and, you know, messing with people's line of sight, but the core gameplay is about the same. So I just think it would be an easier sell to like the mainstream world to have either Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, just because stylistically it's more slightly realistic, you know, provided that they have some sort of stipulations in there where everybody has to have some sort of like default skins. You can't have, like, if they have Call of Duty in there in like the CDL league and you got people like rocking just any skin, you know, like Nicki Minaj, Kevin Durant, who else? Snoop Dogg, Cheech and Chong. And these dudes are rolling around here with like gold guns, diamond guns, and then you show that to like the rest of the world. Well, it's gonna be like, why the fuck am I even watching this? Okay, it's gonna look a little silly. Same thing with Fortnite. Fortnite has a like literally almost every skin known to man, you know, media is in Fortnite. You know, Valorant, the skins kind of get a little wonky, but I mean, it's whatever. You have to like normalize it somehow if you're going to be at the Olympics. That's what I would say. No, like nobody cares. Like if your game is going to be featured at the Olympics, fuck your skins. Nobody cares about the prestige of your skin, how much you paid for your skin. You're on the Olympic level now. All right, normalize some shit. League of Legends or Dota, I think these would be fine. Either one of these would be fine. Same thing. Like, normalize your fucking skins. Don't be coming in here with your stupid $500 Ari skin. That's fucking ridiculous. Rocket League. I think Rocket League has probably one of the best shots at being like one of the main games there. Like, completely support it. It's a sport. It's car soccer. It's race car soccer. That's all it is. Street Fighter, Tekken, I think these would both be fine to have there for like the fighting game division or whatever. This would be awesome. Absolutely. Having like, so here's, I'll say about this, about like the racing thing. Does the Olympics already not have any like racing categories, like real racing? Is there no such thing as like Olympic NASCAR? No, right? Because I fucking would have heard it or something like that. Or is the Olympic version like F1? Do they not have like real racing at the Olympics with like cars and shit? I mean, if not, then I would question that. Like, why isn't like a real Olympic level racing not at the Olympics? I mean, if it is, great, but like the sports games and the racing games being at the Olympics is kind of weird to me, you know, as like a 34-year-old dude, because it's like, well, I'm just going to go watch like the Olympic level real soccer. I'm just going to go watch the Olympic level basketball. I don't care about like this fucking video game, or even if it's like Madden or something like that. The whole iRacing / F1, I think the iRacing F1 has a better shot than FIFA or NBA, because you have things like that Netflix documentary. What was it, like with that racing sim game? What the fuck am I thinking of? Well, it was a documentary about how this one kid got like really good at like the racing simulator game, and some dude thought, okay, these top racing sim guys, the skill transfer is really good because they can find the lines and whatnot, and it's like an easy, well, not easy, but like a skill transfer that's really like transferable to like real racing. So yeah, I think the racing games have a better shot than like the real sports games being at an Olympic level. Because the skill transfer, like if you're good at FIFA, the video game, that doesn't mean damn. That doesn't mean shit in terms of like skill transfer for you actually being good at real soccer or, excuse me, football. Yeah. So the national pride and country-based competition is sorely missing from current-day esports. Yes, it is. North America and EU, China versus Korea, and Brazil versus everyone is still a massive driving force of rivalry and fandom. Yeah, I mean, it can be. Every major esport should have their own World Cup to grow the game, Olympics or not. Yes, it should, but that I would imagine it takes a lot of coordination to do that, and a lot of like, I don't know, just sheer marketing power and whatnot. But probably more so than what game devs are willing to do. But let's continue watching this clips.
Committee thinks so and is making plans to launch its own esports tournament.
They need to feature the most popular games in esports.
Gamer and gaming journalists
need to feature the most popular esports in tournaments. Let's go. Let's see what's happening. What is happening right now? Dota. Okay, the esport of just chat. And Dota, Counter-Strike, No Shot, League of Legends, Valorant, no, Fortnite, no, probably not. Apex just never really pierced the mainstream like Fortnite did, so for that reason, I'd probably say no to Apex. Plus, Apex has like a bazillion fucking problems, so whatever. No. Not Warzone. I would probably go with the Call of Duty League style for Call of Duty. No. What else? Probably not. But to my knowledge, these guys. Well, the college football, no, but like actual football, yes. Overwatch, they have their own thing getting run, doing their own thing in like Saudi Arabia. Possibly, but probably not, because for the argument of like ability spam, and it's just hard to watch Overwatch, period. So trying to make that sell on a global scale is going to be way harder when you can't even get regular people in America on board with watching Overwatch. So, nah. Rainbow Six, possibly Rainbow Six. No. Again, FIFA, possibly. But yeah, that's just like, just going off the rip. Maybes, some yeses.
Rod Breslau, who goes by Slasher, says he'd be on board if they let the gamers decide what games to play.
Well, what do you mean? If you ask everybody is like, everybody in like esports, everyone's going to want their game to be at the Olympics. So you can't ask gamers. Every gamer would advocate for their own game 100%.
The Olympics is trying to come in and trying to get a bit bigger name in the digital world. They're trying to get a younger audience. They're trying to get a younger demographic.
As for the IOC,
trying to come in and, what did he say? Get a younger demographic? Let me see. Let me read here.
Trying to get a bit bigger name in the digital world. They're
get a bigger name in the digital world. That follows. Yes.
Trying to get a younger audience.
Yes, because the top people, I would say that part, it really depends on the competitive video game. It really depends on the video game, because certain people on certain genres, come in and are of a certain age, and they may just be like naturally good, but to compete at the top level, they bank on their like natural talent, but how you like truly ascend to like that next level is like you have to play a shit ton of that game at the top level. So what does that part have to, how is that relevant? That usually comes with people that are like slightly older, but like look at some of the people that are competing in the Olympics right now. There are some people, like, what's the youngest age that you can come in on the Olympics? Isn't it like 16? You have to be at least 16 to be at the Olympics. There's a ton of people that are like 16, 17, 18, 19. people, year olds at the Olympics. That's understandable. But for me to deny that, competitive video games aren't dominated by a slightly, younger audience is like a delusional. So I will say that yes, top tier like video game people, the age does trend toward a younger, the audience.
We're trying to get a younger demographic.
As for the IOC, it says the decision is about keeping up with the times.
Trying to appeal to the younger demographic. I think they're simply trying to appeal to the non-athletic people by trying to bring in people that play video games. That's honestly it. Like, if you're athletic to some degree and you play like some real sports or something, you're kind of paying attention to the Olympics. Maybe not really until like the year of, and even then, it's like meh. Because what the fuck was I was gonna say something. God dang it. The whole like trying to bring in younger people, they simply just want to put on a good show, and because they want to put on a good show, I think the best people should show up for these video games, not necessarily the younger people of these video games. The best people should show up.
With the creation of Olympic esports games, the IOC is taking a major step forward in keeping up with the pace of the digital revolution.
And giving the gamers a chance to show their stuff.
Like a physical sport, there is a lot of skill and dexterity and strategy that goes into playing games and competing in games. So having gamers...
Obviously, it's not as physical. All right, you're not at the fucking keyboard. You're not sitting on your ass on the beanbag at the desk, and you're sweating your cock off trying to play a video game. That's not what's happening. No one is under that delusion. Okay, it's not. It requires a different skill set. Reaction time, hand-eye coordination, fine-tuned detail that you can do with like your hands and arms and everything. It's just simply a different skill set.
Compete in the Olympics just further legitimizes it.
She's right, and this isn't brand new. The IOC hosted an Olympic esports event last year in Singapore. They say it went well and are planning to talk more about.
Yeah, wasn't it? I forgot what sport or what game was there. I think, wasn't it like a fighting game? I want to say it was Street Fighter, but I don't remember.
In Paris, and we'll look for an esports host city. Raj, stay tuned.
It's going to happen. Thank you, Scott. The Paris Olympics, by the way, are next month, and you got to qualify to get there beginning tomorrow. Catch 2 weeks of Olympic trials right here on NBC. It all begins with the swimming trials from Indianapolis. You can watch it live on NBC Bay Area and Peacock.
All right. So that was the whole clip. So something like I heard someone say that like if a video game is going to be like at the Olympics, it cannot have any sort of violence or like blood or gore or anything like that, which is understandable. Which only strengthens my argument because if you want to have so like I'm not sure if like Counter-Strike or COD or Fortnite or maybe not Fortnite, but like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, and maybe Valorant. I haven't really played enough Valorant. Bit on there, but probably not going to happen. So why wouldn't it happen? Is probably because there's probably like blood, people being shot in Call of Duty and Counter-Strike. Yes, there are also people being shot, but I think the blood and the gore elements are really toned down. I don't know if they show blood in Valorant. I'm pretty sure they don't show blood in Fortnite. It's just like visual clutter and like little color bursts. Yeah. So if you are going to have a shooting game, the most likely candidates would probably be either Fortnite or Valorant. But here is where I would throw in my 2 cents. However delusional it would be if you want to have a quote unquote shooting game, why not have either Kovacs or AimLab there? Oh, Cornell, you can't have that. It's nowhere near as popular as any other shooting game on that list that you mentioned. All right, you simply cannot. Where the fuck is this thing? Kovacs and AimLab are simply not as popular. They can't penetrate the mainstream, but that's where I would argue. Kovacs and AimLab, the aim trainers, there's no blood, there's no gore. It is highly focused on the mere skill of aiming. It's a clean environment. Shit, you could even probably put some scenarios in there, put some little ads in there, like on the sides or whatever in the background. Whatever. And like it is the best shot for a shooting game to be at the Olympics because it's family friendly. There's no blood and gore or violence in there. You are simply just trying to shoot dots and track cylinders. All right, that's the goal. All right, that's it. That's my 2 cents on everything. But let me see what you guys think. I'm like kind of interested to see like what the entirety of the competitive video game world thinks about this. Let me just like see. Like, terrible idea. Video games do not stay relevant or stay the same for long enough to have any kind of Olympic legacy. Esports isn't remotely suited to the Olympic competition. Let it go. This is true, actually. There's only a couple games that have really been relevant for, well, not even like kind of relevant. Again, Counter-Strike, Unreal Tournament, and not even so much Unreal Tournament, more Quake than Unreal. Those 3 games alone have been around for a while. If what you were saying is true, then why would our own community have any belief that Counter-Strike or Street Fighter or League of Legends would have longevity? Those first 2 are going for 25 plus years strong. Yes, Street Fighter also, yep, I stand corrected. Street Fighter has also been around for a very long time, and League of Legends, probably the youngest buck on this lineup of CS, Street Fighter, and League of Legends. But League of Legends has demonstrated that it has been around for a long time. I don't know if there's any like blood and gore in League of Legends, but I think League of Legends would do fine in it. What else? What makes you hate Saudis? Not a big fan of the Saudi government running esports tournaments. Not that we have a choice in the matter anymore. Yeah. Getting this right is so important globally. Your second point, key here. It's also a good job. Good job on camera. Congrats. Thanks, yo. Yeah. But that's just what's been happening. This is like slightly old news, but not really. But it could, hopefully be a good thing. But let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, later.